The kids of the 90s didn't have tablets, streaming or smartphones. Instead, they had to make do with good, old-fashioned terrestrial TV. With just 4 channels to choose from, options were limited and the presenters of the biggest shows at the time acquired iconic status. From prizes to be won with Pat Sharp and his mullet on Sid's Funhouse to art attacks Neil Buchanan excitably telling youngsters to try it yourself, the hosts were almost bigger than the shows themselves. But what happened to some of the most recognized faces of the era? From bereavement to sackings, new careers, changing looks and the star rumored to be Banksy, here's what came next for the children's TV presenters of the 90s. Pat Sharp, Funhouse Pat Sharp, real name Pat Sharpin, hosted the hugely popular Funhouse on set between 1989 and 1999 alongside cheerleader twins Melanie and Martina Grant. These days, the 61-year-old's mullet is long gone after his Norwegian wife, Monica, convinced him to cut it off. Recalling how she phoned him one day out of the blue, Pat said he at first feared something major was wrong. She said, "Can you come home now? We need to talk," he told The Guardian. "We had an au pair at the time who put the kids in a separate room while Monica sat me down and said, 'Can you please cut your hair?' I was so relieved she wasn't unwell and nothing bad had happened that I said yeah. It was only afterwards that I went, OSHT, really? But it was time to grow up. It's a cool thing to look back on, but I couldn't have it now. It looked like Joe Exotic." Pat didn't retire from entertainment, and went on to host Top of the Pops and appear on I'm a Celebrity, Come Dine With Me and Never Mind the Buzzcocks. He also featured on Michael McIntyre's The Wheel of Fortune and until recently worked as a DJ for Greatest Hits. Pat was axed from the show after making an inappropriate remark about a woman's breasts. It was reported that he was at the Conference News Agency Awards at the Queen Elizabeth II Conference Centre in central London when he made a remark about company boss Lizzie Eaton's chest. The radio star has since apologized and said, "I made a joke on stage which was not well received. I upset one individual in particular and for that I am truly sorry. I apologized at the event to anyone who was offended and I have apologized to the individual personally too." Lizzie was shown a t-shirt emblazoned with Pat's face from back in the day. He jokingly told her, "That's the only way he'll get on your TS today." According to The Sun, she launched the shirt back at him and immediately left the event in tears. Lizzie later shared, "I was publicly humiliated, in a sexual nature, by the celebrity host of an industry event, on stage in front of 400 of my colleagues and peers. Afterwards I was in complete shock and hadn't really processed what happened. Today I am struggling with it, I feel sad, dirty and, frankly, violated." A spokesperson for Bauer Media later revealed that a decision had already been made not to renew Pat's contract, which comes to an end later this month. They added, "However, with this issue now having been brought to our attention, we have agreed with Pat that he will not return to the station with immediate effect." Melanie and Martina Grant, Funhouse Pat's cheerleading sidekicks Melanie and Martina Grant were just 16 when they first joined the TV show in 1989. When Funhouse ended in December 1999, the sisters released an album called ATT, A Twin Thing, which was successful in Japan. They have had a handful of TV appearances since, including stints in The Bill and This Morning. Through their website Funhouse Wins, fans of the show can hire them for private parties. Even Martina's Instagram, which is under the handle FunhouseYellowTwin1, follows the Funhouse theme. The description on their website reads, "Melanie and Martina know how to have fun. They bring the party with them wherever they go and are attentive hostesses who can help organizers make sure the party goes with a bang." When not partying, Mel and Martina dream about being on Strictly, Dancing on Ice or I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. After that it's a pretty normal life, looking after kids, going on the school run and going out to party for themselves. Melanie married fireman and footballer David Bambridge, who died of leukemia in 2009 aged just 35. Their daughter Millie was 4 at the time. After his death, the devastated star told This Is Kent, though he was diagnosed 4 years ago, he died quite suddenly. He read a bedtime story to Millie the night before and was active to the last. I think that is how he wanted it to happen. He never wanted Millie or I to suffer and even made a list of things I had to do once he was gone. He even chose the songs to be played at his funeral. Martina is mum to son Stanley, who has Down syndrome, and daughter Mabel with husband Ben Freeberry, who she married in 2016. My partner is 7 years younger than me and he used to watch Funhouse, she said. He finds it a bit weird that he used to watch me on TV and now we have children together. Neil Buchanan, Art Attack with his frosted tips and mega quiff. Neil Buchanan epitomized the 90s on sitcoms Art Attack. These days has barely recognizable. The 66-year-old works mainly behind the camera and rocks out in his metal band, Marseille, which he formed before becoming a TV regular. In 2020, Neil, who also fronted TV show Finders Keepers, denied that he was famous mystery street artist, Banksy, after rumors spread online that he was. The statement on his website read, "We have been inundated with inquiries over the weekend regarding the current social media story. Unfortunately, this website does not have the infrastructure to answer all these inquiries individually, however we can confirm that there is no truth in the rumor whatsoever." Bodger and Badger children's presenter Andy Cunningham and his puppet co-star Badger starred in the popular BBC children's series from 1989 to 1999. The pair captured their audience's hearts by getting up to bizarre antics which often contain mashed potatoes. Once the decade-long show ended, they gained cult status amongst viewers who had grown up but still fondly remembered its heyday. In the early 2000s, the show got on the nightclub nostalgia circuit for the mashed potato theme nights. Sadly, Andy died in 2017 aged 67 from cancer. The Chuckle Brothers. The hapless Chuckle Brothers delighted youngsters on their BBC show Chucklevision. The Rotherham comedy duo, Barry Elliott and Paul Harmon, starred on the 21 series So from 1987 to 2009, with their famous catchphrase, "To me, to you," still used today. The pair made a TV comeback on Chuckle Time, which saw the brothers perform comedy sketches and introduce funny online videos from the public. Considered national treasures, they continued to appear at themed club nights across the country up until Barry died in August 2018. Paul, however, has continued to perform doing DJ sets, making TV cameos and acting in pantomimes, including one this year's at Cardiff's New Theatre. Katie Hill, Blue Peter. Katie made her first appearance on Blue Peter in 1995 and stayed on the show for 5 years, before spending a year on Live and Kicking. The former TV star's role on Blue Peter included training with the England football team, living with a family in Mongolia and joining the Cirque du Soleil gymnast troupe. Katie, who was a fan favorite, is now married to fellow Live and Kicking presenter Trey Farley, who she wed in 2004. The pair live in Los Angeles with their daughter, Kaya, and son, Akira. The star is no longer in the industry and is now a life coach. Andy Peters, Emma Forbes and John Barrowman, Going Live. Hit TV show Going Live ran for 8 years from 1993 and had a string of presenters who are still in front of the cameras. Andy is still a competition host on ITV's breakfast shows and Saturday Night Takeaway. He also was a producer of youth TV in the 90s, including The Ozone and Top of the Pops. Emma went on to host shows on Radio 2, Capital and Heart, and voiced Mummy Hippo on Peppa Pig. While Barrowman went on to be Captain Jack Harkness in Doctor Who spin-off, Torchwood, and a judge on ITV's Dancing on Ice.